in your years of building your confidence, growing your confidence, because obviously I've known you since I think we were talking about this was about 2021. I think we were introduced or towards either in 2020 or 2021. Can't remember which year, but the thing is your confidence has grown so much. You've developed as a business owner, as a human, as a with confidence and all sorts. And I've loved seeing you grow. I've loved seeing your journeys and your new adventures that you go on. And I'm really excited for this new adventure that you're on. But I'd love you to share some of the tips that have worked for you over these years that you've been on this journey. Because I can most probably point out, say, yeah, that. But I'd love to know what tips can you share with the audience that has really worked for you to change direction, to help you cope with situations, to just help you to be or get you to where you are right now?
I think the biggest one, as yeah, anyone that's listening that knows me knows that I'm big into networking, and it was good, from when I started as a travel consultant, being told to network, network, network. Not something I'd ever thought of before, and I'm so pleased that I have done, because if I didn't have the people around me that I have through networking, Um, I don't think my confidence would necessarily have grown. It's that makes a difference. And through the people that I've had surround me, like I'm sure lots of people in 2020, you didn't know, yeah, that was an easy time. It was what am I going to do now? And obviously for me, it was I was in travel. Travel had to stop, and like I said earlier, I was not good at asking for help. Luckily, because I did network quite a lot in person prior to 2020 and was still networking regularly with some of those people that I'd met in person, they actually noticed that I had an issue and booked a call with me to talk to me, because I possibly wouldn't have said anything, and those calls made a massive difference. Um, I think I think a lot of the time it is all about having those people that you have around you. Always make sure that you've got good, supportive people around you. However that works for you, whether it means going to in-person sessions or meeting people online, if in-person sessions are either difficult or not something you feel comfortable about, but making sure that you see at least the same few people on a regular basis. Um, So you either feel comfortable to be able to ask for that help, or they do actually notice because they know if you're that quiet, that's not normally you.
So it's
So,
consciously building relationships. It's not waiting for
yeah.
somebody else to build a relationship with you, but you consciously reached out and built relationships with people who resonated with you.
Mm,
I know that networking, you meet so many people, especially online networking, you can meet even more people. So it's not necessarily about building relationships with everybody you meet, but finding those that you just find a resonance with, or whose energy you like, or who gives you a good vibe, whatever it is. Or maybe they love dogs and you love dogs. So, you have that basic connection just to start with, and then building it from there and actually making an effort to keep that relationship going, even if it's just a WhatsApp message or an email or a text message, and having regular conversations. And I mean, when I say regular, I'm not talking about once a week, but maybe once every few months, hopping on a Zoom call or meeting for a coffee, depending where you are, and just growing these relationships, and not for the sake of business, but as you said, just more for just having that network around you of people who you build a trust with, so that
yeah,
when you find the courage and the confidence to ask for help, you know who you can then go to. So that's really useful advice, is building relationships. And it doesn't have to be with millions of people. It doesn't have to be with hundreds of people. It doesn't even have to be 50 or 20 people. It can be a handful of people. Just have those relationships that is comfortable for you, the amount of people that you can deal with.
Yeah, so you only need a small group of people. That's right, because when you're working on your own, yeah, it's that whole thing of working on your own. It's easy to become overwhelmed. It's easy for, you know, to think that you need to be working, 24/7 and all those things. And I think firstly it's important that it seems to be a lot more wider spread, even when you're looking on social media now, that there's more talk about your well-being, and that you don't just work, 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 because that's all there is, work, work, work. You just got to get the business going, because obviously you can only sustain that for so long. You need you need to be mindful of your health throughout. And by having, like you say, just a handful of people that you trust, it might just be just at the critical point where, you don't know where you're coming or going, to say, right, okay, just stop, have a think, breathe.
Definitely
Where
breathe.
do you want to go next?
And
Plus, also, sorry, the other thing you have is, if you've built a trusted circle of people around you, you can help one another out. There are times where you can't afford to pay someone to help you. But if you have a good circle, you can help one another out. You can skill swap, because we've all got different skills, whether you're using it for your business now or it's something that you can do to help someone else out, and vice versa. Yeah, it makes a massive difference to that other person, and to you to move forward.
one thing, you've often mentioned asking for help, and it's something that not everybody can do or even knows how to do it. And asking for help can sometimes feel that you are being put into a vulnerable position. But one thing is, and I want to share this with you, because one thing that really helps to build confidence, ironically, is being vulnerable. Because when you are vulnerable, and I'm not talking about being vulnerable in like a life or death situation. I'm talking about, just asking for help, being in that place where there's potential for judgment, there's potential for criticism, but being vulnerable and embracing that and dealing with that can actually help to build confidence. So don't shy away from asking for help when you feel when it feels scary, because as I mentioned, there's that place of judgment. But just use it as a way to slowly build confidence. So I just wanted to share that with all you guys out there, because sometimes is might not realize that vulnerability and confidence, they do sometimes work hand in hand. So just a little random thought there.